Yo, this is Ozzy from Ozzy Boyds, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
I'm John Feely of Feely's Clutch, and you are watching Reptiles Unplugged.
This is Will Rose from Royal Canadian Reptiles, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
Guys, it's KB Reptiles.
Team Helga.
Team Beard.
And you're watching
Reptiles Unplugged.
It's Justin from Jacob Luck Reptiles, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
Nick with Renowned Reptiles here, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
It's your boy Harry Wayne from Royal Canvas Exotics, and you're tuning into Reptiles Unplugged.
You're Triple B, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
Woo-hoo-hoo. What's going on, everybody? How we doing tonight? So we got a new broadcaster tonight. Will, how we doing, man? How's it been, dude? We're that's the mystery here. We kicked Adam out, actually, and Will has decided to join Reptiles Unplugged, dude. How's it feel, dude, to be on this side? You know,
it's not bad. I like it.
Yeah. But how you doing tonight, man?
Good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe we will, because we kept this from Adam, who's kind of gonna be in, and I'm gonna send him the link and invite him in now to get Adam coming over here real quick. Oh, there you are.
You guys.
What's going on, man?
Had me tricked there, Joel. I see how it goes. No, joking. Going good. Thanks, Will, for coming on tonight, man. And inviting me to the show as well. That was very nice too. So.
Change of pace for you.
Right. Dude, I like it. No, but Marshall's in the house, 514, HB, small town. Brian, how we doing, man? What in the world is going? Yeah, right. How we doing? Robert's not on again, unfortunately. Robert is not our mystery guest tonight. It is Will. So there's that. But man, Will, dude, how you been? It's been a little bit since we've had you on here. What's been going on, man?
Just working on some of these projects, and that's about it. Really
How many clutches do you guys have this year?
We're gonna be pretty close to 70.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be pretty close.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's a big number when it comes to like hatchlings, and that 70 isn't really 70.
No,
that's often like I feel like a misinterpret. When you say like, I'm having 70 clutches. Well, that means that you're like a 2,000 babies. So I don't even know what that number is, but it's a ton of babies, obviously.
It's probably 450 babies, something like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of snake population increase real quick.
Instantly. And it's like it all happens within like 2 months too. It's like the baby wall is empty, and then 3 weeks later it's like half full.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
the little babies poop so much too.
Oh,
they do. They do, man. They do. I don't have those. The new Freedom breeders have the cup holder for the baby tubs, like the F10s or the FB5s or something like that. I think that's the both of them. Really need to get those because I always have them. They flip their little water dishes. They're the best. They're the best at it. I've never seen anybody better at flipping water dishes than hatchling ball pythons. So
I don't really get that problem very often. I sort of push all the substrate to the back and then put the water cup flat onto the V18 tub, and then just sort of mold
pile it around. Yeah, that's what you do.
Put them in, and I don't tend they flip. When you start to get them flipping it is when they get into like that 250 to 350 gram range, and they're
because they're just bigger in there.
Little hatchlings aren't flipping anything, but when they get bigger, absolutely, they start to make a mess.
That new water holder, I love that. That's such a cool design.
I've been waiting for feels like a year now for the V18 Freedom breeders. Because they have the FB5, the little skinny ones.
Yeah,
I feel like they're just too small for my personal comfort. They're great for like the first, I don't know, like until 200, 300 grams. But the V18 is like double the floor space, and
Yep,
it's just
that's
such a
what I
good
use.
bin. And
Yeah.
I really like that size tub, and
Yeah.
and so I'm waiting for Jesse to launch those, and I text him like every 2 weeks. I'm like, hey, look. And it seems like every 2 weeks, it's like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know those guys are
man.
crazy busy. I'm sure they have so much stuff on their plate, and I know like making a mold and getting it like into production, that can't be overnight.
Oh yeah, especially right now with everything that's going on. Yeah, very difficult to do anything. Obviously, everybody I'm sure experienced that.
Yeah.
Yeah, elegant anomaly wanted me to remind you that he needs a puzzle het DG whenever you have it. So just you put orders are out. So just so you know.
I need a puzzle het DG. So yeah.
And at the same time, they were asking, how do you hold back all 70 clutches? Is that a new facility you built, or?
Yeah, where's the infrastructure for this?
Keep going.
we know how that goes. So.
By 2025, the building's gonna be a mile long.
At this rate, man. At this rate. Yeah. Jeez, dude, I like it. I mean, I like the style. I get what you're doing. It makes sense, obviously. But something I did want to ask is, when you get all that baby rush, how do you, I guess for lack of better terms, what is like an inventory system for you? How do you categorize that, keep track of orders, something like that? I mean, are you using like an Excel spreadsheet or in your head?
No, definitely not in my head. So basically what I do, and I've said it before, is I keep a Google Doc of that. So I have like on here, I don't know if you can see that, all the pairings from last season, and then you get into the pairings from this season. And what I do is I go into an inventory, and I've got, it's all color coded. I don't know if you can see it. It's all color coded, and it'll go for forever. And that's all the babies from this season, that's 2020. And then blue is like sold, green's held back, white is limbo. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it or keep it or what's the case.
Yeah.
A lot of those ones I'm like sort of in limbo. I'm just like, you know what? I'll grow them up to 300 grams, see how they look. See if I, stuff it. I'm like, does that have OD in it or does it not? Grow it up, you'll be able to tell with some size on it. So
right, naturally.
But as far as like orders go, I have a spreadsheet for when a customer orders. I put them in the spreadsheet. I put the each clutch. I do RCR each season. I start off again with RCR 20. So that's RCR 2020. Next year it'll be RCR 21.
Right.
And then I do RCR 2101 means 2021 season clutch number 1, and then it'll be another dash, and it'll be like 01, 02, 03, and that's baby 1, 2,
baby
3,
per
5.
thing, right? Okay, yeah.
So if I ever sell something, or if anyone's ever asks, it's so much easier for them to come to me and say like, hey, RCR 02, 06, what was the pairing? And I can be like, okay, RCR 2006, that's the pairing.
Yeah, right. I like that.
Just keep it organized, and as long as you stay on top of it, it's not that big a deal. As long as every time the clutch hatches and you set it up, you actually write it all out, you put it into your spreadsheet. It takes a little longer to set up a clutch, but it's well worth it, because if you set up 15 clutches and then you're like, oh my god, I got to inventory all this stuff, it takes all day sometimes.
Yeah, that's a lot of animals.
Going on Morph Market, trying to compare. Does this have? Does this actually have yellow belly or does it not? It's like it can be a process. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's something that's not mentioned a whole lot, and at that level, which I feel like a lot of people are producing multiple animals. 50, 60 animals a year, and inventory is a real thing. Taking care of that, figuring out your process, how it all flows together. I actually personally have never really had to do it, because I only have 4 clutches a year, so it's all in my head. But I can see the expanding the necessity for it.
Yeah, I was like that for a while too. I just knew,
Right.
But basically, that ID system, once I make a card for that animal, I have the RCR 200604, and then I write on the card my ID on it, and then on the back of the card I'll write like POS yellow belly, POS fire, and that card follows that snake, whether it starts off in a V18, whether it gets sold or I end up keeping it. That card will move along with that snake its whole life, and that way. That way, when it breeds, I can be like, oh, that's odd. Like maybe that doesn't have fire, and I can go back and be like, okay. And it just helps if you get into the habit of doing it now.
Right.
The time when you need it comes quicker, right? And you will need it eventually. People don't, when you're just like, ooh, when you first hatch something out, you're like, POS yellow belly, and you don't write that on the back of the card, and then all of a sudden, you tell it,
hey, this hatched out.
Exactly. Right. Does this have yellow belly in it? You're like, oh shit, I don't remember. What was the parent? Well, that was 4 years ago. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and that was like 80 clutches ago now.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, hey, I don't know.
You gotta do it. Right.
Because I keep track of everything, I can go back forever.
Years. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, good old Excel for me too. I was doing the Reptiscan thing for a little while, but the scanning of the QR code always took way too long. Thanks, baby.
Yeah, I just found that an Excel spreadsheet was the easiest way. I can update it on my phone. I can change things on the fly. I can,
Right.
Yeah.
It's Google linked, so I can access it from my computer.
From anywhere.
Yeah. Doesn't matter where I am. I can be like, oh, whatever clutch, I can check.
Right.
Ends in hatching, how many eggs, how many slugs, what was my egg to slug ratio for the year, and all that kind of thing.
When you sell a snake at like on the street corner or something like that, you can just pull up the Excel sheet, punch it in like I saw it. Right. Yeah, no, I get it.
Reptiscan was on a website, so you could do that same shit, like if you're tracking it. I just found like the scanning portion took longer than it did for me to just make a couple notes and then sit at my computer while I'm documenting other stuff, because
right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's inventory system, right? Especially
you gotta
when,
have it.
Anyone producing that level or that amount of animals, you gotta have it. I don't know how you could.
You have to, right. Yeah, it's something I've been thinking more about, considering adding to the flock a little bit in the near future, and with a lot of females that now are finally getting this size. So I'm getting like next year hopefully having that 15 clutch range. I gotta figure something out that's like consistent and always moving and fluid that can move with me, much like what really both of you were talking about.
And I think it would be actually kind of a cool concept if we could come up with a universal identification system, not necessarily like, for example, I'd be RCR 200102, Adam would be BB 200102. That way, when Adam sells a snake to Joel, and then 4 years down the road, Joel sells that snake to someone else, that card can go with it, and that person can go all the way back and be like, Adam doesn't want that, but can go back
figure
to
out.
Be like, hey man, I bought a snake from Joel. It's BB 200607. Can you remember what the parents were? And Adam can be like, his computer, bang, this is what the parent was.
Right. Exactly. Or even have a website, like a database, basically, right?
That's a big one. That would be cool.
Well, you could register your like trademark as far as like that, like RCR, would be yours, right? Like almost, like on the stock exchange, right? Everybody gets
everybody has their ticker, man.
Their ticker, right? So you register your ticker, and then you can register your clutches in the year, and then people that buy an animal could actually go to that and see lineage, right? And SQL could do all the work for us, man. Like a SQL database, I
know, like the green tree python guys are very
they're good at that.
They're lineage based. Like you talk about like it's not just a blue green tree python. It's like that blue green tree python.
Right. They're specific.
One, and that's the genes. That's the genealogy you want to follow. And I really don't know why we don't do that in ball pythons, but
it's because we've got like 100 and 150, 200, 300, I'm sure in your case, you know.
I think Justin posted today 198th clutch laid. 198.
Do you imagine?
Like the next post was another clutch, which would be 199.
199, right? Yeah, so he's pushing 300 clutches a year. Like, that's
the crazy thing is they're all amazing clutches. There's no like, that's okay. Clutches. Like it's all like, what the?
You know, right? Bummer problem to have.
Right. It's like big flag, you know, like I give up.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, whatever. Dude, you've been producing crazy stuff over there too. I mean, that's the fun thing about this hobby though, right? Justin's like definitely one of those guys. Every time you pull up his stuff, gonna be good. You're also one of those guys.
Thank you.
You know,
dude, obviously.
Ozzy. I mean, there's a bunch out there, right? And that's the fun thing is even somebody who doesn't have a huge following can post a specific snake and everybody's like, what? No way.
Anybody can blow anybody's mind right now.
Yep.
Anybody.
And it's gonna happen more and more and more often.
Yep.
The nature of what we're doing, we're starting to combo stuff up that just
it's insane, man.
People are taking those weird directions, and I think you're gonna have just crazy stuff happening soon.
Right. Yeah, dude, I agree. It's crazy on Instagram every season now. My feed just gets wilder and wilder and wilder as the years go from more and more people, you know? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy what you just hatched out.
Yeah.
You know? And it's I still think that like having a direction to direction you want to head with it is I mean, I can just pair anything up to anything and you're probably going to make really cool looking stuff. It's just how does that incorporate into the rest of your collection? And that's the
strategy of it.
Yeah, that's the real difficult thing. I mean, getting them to breed and like raising them and doing all, I pretty much have that side of things dialed in. I mean, obviously they're still living animals. You can't.
Yeah, there's complications that arise.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to bat at 100% with animals. It's just you're not.
No.
But it's really like the planning and the like all the moving parts and managing them all at once. That's like really kind of fun. That part's kind of fun. It's more like
I like it. That's the art to me. Like the art form of like building the group and the collection you're doing. You know, there's a lot going on, and there's too many genes now to focus on everything. And so you really got to focus on something, you know, and what you focus on can be crazy.
And that's something is like a 20-year path, you know?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
You just want to do lavender combos. There's 5 million lavender combos to do.
Right. And every year there's another gene that comes out.
Right.
Every year I feel like another gene comes out that's like, oh, that's kind of crazy.
And it's like what ends up happening is you get like, let's say I'm just going to use this as an example, not that it's a past lesser lavender, right? You get to that point and you're like, I'm not sure I want to pursue pastel lesser in lavender. But then all of a sudden Hurricane comes out and you put Hurricane into pastel lesser lavender. Holy shit, it works amazing.
And then it's nuts.
So it's just fine-tuning those little, you know,
It is. It's and that's what the thing I think I'm learning the most as, you know, this is like year 5 of like kind of like really focusing at it and trying to do it is, man, if you're willing to commit 10 years to this, you can do some insane shit. Like, dude, you can just do crazy stuff, you know? So
especially if you commit to like
the time
building for those first 10 years and not just trying to profit. If you can just be like, you know what, this is a hobby. I just want to make really cool stuff. And if it can pay for itself in the meantime, awesome. If you can do that, you can set yourself up for just absolutely mind boggling stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, patience, man. Patience.
Yeah. Hey, interesting discussion kind of going on in chat a little bit ago. So Shane from Small Town was saying he had 13 slugs, 0 eggs yesterday. Some other people, kind of, have been having kind of some rough clutches. And then somebody said, well, it's the time of year possibly. And Shane said he had heard that rumor. So Will, in your breeding, have you noticed, I guess, specific times of years maybe that females typically slug out a little more, and then other times of the year that they're, or is it per female for you? I don't know.
I don't think that it's necessarily like, no. So personally, I don't find that a specific time of the year you get more slugs or less slugs. I think you have like your bread and butter 4 months of like that like chunk of year where most of your production is going to happen, and your ovulations and your first clutches, and most of that like action, the breeding action, is going to happen within those 5 to 6 months. And like a 4-month window of like really of like snakes dropping eggs, like we're getting 3 clutches a day, 2 clutches a day. So you go a week and you get 9 clutches, but that's but I find that at the of it, you just have like the strength stuff that just wasn't primed to go in that 4 months, and then the window is actually moved 4 months down the road. So snakes that laid in May, like Justin was saying, snakes that laid in May generally, if they go again the following year, are going to lay in May. We had a desert ghost female that laid in June 1st 2019. She laid June 1st 2020. Exactly like I was
okay.
Exactly.
But what if that female lays right now in September, like Shane's example, he had 13 slugs. So by that kind of reasoning, she should go next time at this year, and then so maybe slugging out was something else and not necessarily the time of the year, right?
So when I see slugs, I instantly try not to blame not that Shane did anything wrong. It sometimes just happens. But I start to look at like other things. Was your room really hot middle of the summer?
Yeah.
Right? Did your room temperature come up in the middle of the summer? Could that be a reason? Are you using a younger male? Could that be a reason? Did you witness like real solid good locks, or was it just like a quick quick little lock, and you banked on that lock getting it done? There's so many variables that I think that can attribute to slugs that I don't think I can blame it on a specific time of
year. Okay. Yeah, that's good. You know what I mean? Like, it's important kind of analyzing things going on like that, right? And then like kind of conferring what you're seeing compared to like other people who've had a lot of clutches on the ground, right? Because the more clutches on the ground, the more experience, the more data you get, the better your opinion can be formed around certain things. So that's cool, man. Yeah.
That was kind of a common thread. Or Dale was mentioning if your male gets too warm, it'll impact the sperm. Definitely.
I believe that's true.
Humans too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's keeping them a little. The males I like to keep a little cooler, and then the females I give them their hot spot and then a cooler ambient, and that allows them to thermoregulate as much as they need to. If they need the heat, they go onto the heat. If they're cold seeking, they have the opportunity to do that. But
did Joel say humans too?
Humans too. Yeah.
I just my brain was slowly processing. Okay. So no spas, guys. If you're planning on popping out some kiddos.
It's just one of those scenarios where I think and I think what ends up happening is my guess is going to be what's happened is that female was primed to go late in the season. Midsummer, the hottest time of the year, is when she's doing her building
development.
Development. And if it got too hot, which it easily can, my room skyrocketed in temperature this year, and we actually had to put air conditioning in to bring everything back down. And it was like a frantic, 8 hours. I walked into the room, it was like 88. I was like, oh my God, like out of there instantly it was just the room so well insulated that when the outside temperature got high, the racks were on at 89 degrees. The temperature
Just lifted everything.
You just can't, yeah.
And so we ran out and put air conditioning in and brought it all back down to 78 range. And
so that's what you keep your ambient at most times, is about 80 to 78 to 80.
Yeah, and oddly enough, this year I've been really keeping track of slug to egg ratio and like how many eggs you had versus how many slugs you had. This year, out of 70 clutches, we've had 9 slugs.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a crazy ratio.
Almost none. Like, it's been like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
And like 4 of those were in one clutch.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. So it was a bad clutch almost.
Yeah. And then but it was like, you'd have like clutches of like 9 eggs, 1 slug. It's like, okay, cool. I'll take it. It was very, very, very productive year as far as breeding goes. Not so productive as far as odds go.
Well, you can't control that. Okay, there's a lot of things you can control in this hobby.
Oh yeah, and that's the fun part, right? But
it is.
It's also the super frustrating part.
Immensely. But it is by design why it's so fun, because I love gambling. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like taking my shot. So it's fun.
Yeah,
if they all worked out, it would be boring.
Yeah.
It'd be too boring. I wouldn't want to do it.
I mean, okay.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. Like I get it.
It was all planned out.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. All right. It would be perfect. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But there is a layer of excitement where you're just like, okay. I mean, the downs are really down, but the ups are really up, right?
That's the thing.
Is this a gambling anonymous? Are we?
Yeah.
My name is Adam.
All right.
And,
so here's the real part of the interview. We're going to do the gambling anonymous part. Will, this is your intervention. Your family's on the other line. We're going to bring them in.
Every clutch is basically a gamble, and the one that's like that people don't talk about much is like there's 2 sets of odds you have to hit with the clutch: the actual genetics and then the sexes.
Oh, the sex. True. That is true.
Those odds can be bad too. You can hit the greatest clutch and it's like 6.1, and you're like, fuck.
Right. Yeah.
I have everything I wanted, but I wanted this as a female. There's 2 sets there.
Yeah. So which do you prefer? What do you prefer to hit on more? If you missed on a male or female and hit all the genes, or got a female high or male high, whichever one you wanted.
Always female high, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much
So would you
always.
prefer to miss on genes and have a high female, or hit genes and have a high male?
Oh,
that's what I'm asking.
Good question. Yeah. Like, how do you?
Well, for the holdback king, it doesn't matter. It just all stays back.
Well, yeah, I guess the question's arbitrary in a sense.
No, joking.
I want to hit okay. So again, it depends on what you're doing. So for example, if I'm trying to make more double hat DG puzzles, I'll miss the odds and take the females. I'll miss the combos and take the girls, and I'll figure that out later. But if I can hit all the odds in the world. If I get all males, it's still
tough.
Not gone anywhere with it,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a tricky one. It really depends.
Yeah.
It depends
on the project in general.
Do you think there's anything there with the GHI puzzle being so elusive? Because I know you, all total eggs, there's probably been how many eggs? Like 60 eggs?
I did 15 this year and nothing.
You did 15 this year. I know Will Philippic
has been hitting that
probably
hard.
20 eggs at minimum, right?
Now, I have 2 eggs. Now, it's always the case. You have you do 15 eggs, miss nothing. You have 1 egg, you hit the best thing.
Right.
But I have 2 eggs from a GHI het puzzle to a super pastel yellow belly banana puzzle. So it's GHI to visual puzzle. GHI het to visual puzzle. So one of those eggs is a puzzle, and I have a 1 in 4 shot at it, and I have
Right.
2.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Right. I know. I want to see that. I want to see there. I saw not recently. This was a little while back. There was a puzzle for sale that said possible GHI on it on Morph Market, and it
So-
just didn't strike me as something.
I don't think so.
A visual?
Not stepping on toes, but it
Right.
just didn't strike me as what I would think GHI would have done.
So personally, I just cannot see GHI not reacting. It just doesn't
Right.
line up with me.
Maybe
Like,
we're just not ready for it yet, man.
it's just
The
too
human,
crazy.
the human mind isn't ready, man.
Yeah,
It's not ready.
I've got a GHI het puzzle girl. She's she's only gonna give me 3 eggs, but she was bred to a pastel cypress het puzzle. So I'm really just like, I don't either the cypress puzzle or the GHI puzzle. I mean, if you can get both, I mean, jackpot.
Oh, for sure.
That would be great.
It's that
It's just
project.
so weird.
I'm like, I almost like, I shouldn't say I don't want to hit it because I really do, but like I want Will to hit it first.
Dude, Will has been
really hard.
going for
He
it.
made the original hats. He's done all the pairings. He keeps missing on it. I would be happy to hit one. Don't get me wrong, but like I would have to. I'd shout about because I know he's put in like years of work making the hats and missing, and then I just buy a mail. It's like boom, I hit 6. Like,
Yeah.
that would be frustrating for
Yeah, definitely. Especially like hit a combo, like hit a GHI Mojave puzzle, for the first go.
I wouldn't be sad to hit one, but I hope.
Yeah.
I really hope Will hits it
too.
or figures it out or something because there's been how many eggs?
It's crazy.
Lots
I bet
of
there's
pets.
been 50 eggs at it.
I'll have done
Out
17
of everybody.
this year for a GHI puzzle, and so far I have 2 left.
Just out of the 2 of you, there's close to 35 eggs probably there,
Right.
And then there are other people out working the project because I've seen some, het stuff released. So yeah, I would guess probably 50, 60 eggs, and we haven't seen it.
And nobody's posted it. At least maybe somebody hit it, but nobody's posted it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's the dang blackhead spider. Watch, it just produces a regular GHI.
No. It produces regular GHI or puzzle, and it's sex linked. They're both male always.
The worst possible thing that could happen. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, so Will, I know you're working the Puzzle Clown project. Shane from Small Town just said, "What about Will's Puzzle Clowns?" What's your feeling on the Puzzle Clown project? Are you gonna pursue it further than what you have? Or
For sure. Hands down, of course. The animal that he's referring to is not a puzzle clown.
Okay.
The
It's
one
not.
on Instagram?
Yeah.
The pastel
Yellow belly. I believe that it's actually a pastel yellow belly leopard puzzle.
Okay.
And that's why it's got that stripe. It's got the But I don't think that. Well, actually, I know now it's not.
Now, right.
I know now it's not a.
Because of the head, right?
The head's puzzle. The puzzle clown is more
clown
than puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Puzzle clown's more clown than puzzle. That's a cool way to say that. Right. Okay.
It's like it's a good mix. Like it's weird. It's like it's almost exactly what you'd expect it to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy sides, clown dorsal, clown head. Like it's like, well, that's it's a no doubter when you hit it. And
right.
I haven't Jared said we're gonna fight over it's a puzzle clown. I know it's not a puzzle clown. I am 100% certain it's not a puzzle clown.
That is with the conviction.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
100%. Because I just hatched another clutch of puzzle clown stuff, and now I can say for sure it's not a puzzle clown.
Right. Well, you might as well just, I guess, send it to.
Well, it's still possibly het clown, and that's so I'm gonna hang on to it.
Why do you want process, dude?
Surprise, surprise. Hold back. No.
Dude, we need a gong or something every time he says he's gonna keep something. Like,
Yeah.
dude, we should be doing shots. We should be doing something for this.
Okay.
We be drunk.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
So let me pose the question like this, though. For a double recessive, do you think it's impactful enough to both genes and in the project to keep people going at it, right? You know what I mean? Because like double recessive, like that's a lot of work, right? Like,
It is. Now, one of the things, so off the bat, I think people are expecting, and people have this like image in their head that it's going to be like this crazy animal. It's going to be like this absolutely insane, crazy thing. And I think it can be. And one of the things that like I personally see is I watch what Justin has done. And people had almost 8 years ago, clowns were kind of, nobody cared. It was like pastel clown, lesser clown, pastel, lesser clown. And then out of nowhere, Justin came out and look at the clown combos now. You right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And we're just starting to make like pastel puzzle clowns. We haven't got spot nose in there. We haven't put chocolate. We haven't seen what
Mojave
with other. Okay, there's a wicked example. Something in the blue-eyed leucistic complex. Mojave is super reactive with puzzle. Now, can clown overtake that, or are they going to fight? Like, is it going to be a very unique looking animal? I'm willing to bet that it is. I don't think that you can just, just because it's not a desired result. For me personally, people are going to hate me for saying this. I feel that way with clown pie.
Okay.
I see clown pie, and it's like a pie with a clown head for the most part. You get some of the pattern coming through, but I look at them and I'm like, is that enough for me to chase the project? And it's obviously enough for a huge population of people to chase that project, right? See what I mean?
Yeah, I love it.
Lots of people are working clown pies. It's not.
It's all in the head, though. It is. That's something to consider.
Really just
all in the head. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I like clowns for too. Though.
You dirty mofos.
Is that enough to not work it? Now, clown pies, I'm 100%. I have, I'm working that project. It's just it's a lot for what I'm seeing visually, and I think that but again,
well, see, that's why I think it's
pop Enchi leopard into clown pie, and it's fucking mind blowing. So it's like, okay, now you've hit a combo that I'm like, holy shit, that's a clown pie.
This is cool.
Same thing's gonna happen with puzzle clown. You're gonna have a combo where you're like, it's okay, and then holy shit, that worked.
Right.
And there's an avenue for you to work on.
That did good.
Right. Yeah. And I agree. Like, I think the very first puzzle clown that we saw was a little underwhelming. Like you said, people were expecting, here comes the clown pie hate. But, I think people were expecting this crazy, I don't even know what, right? And then when it came out, it did what we expected. It kind of whacked out the sides, left the head, produced a nice dorsal stripe, right? And so I think it's one of those things, anytime you're mixing hot genes together, like it's not until the right additional genes come into play that it pops and everybody wants to chase it,
100%. Without a doubt. But I can, that's like a lot of stuff.
Right. And you have to pick and choose, right? Because I'm not a millionaire. I can't have it all, right? So,
not yet.
Yeah.
Not
yet.
Not yet.
But like we have absolutely no clue what does a Batman puzzle look like? We have no clue.
Right.
What that's gonna do. And people can say like, oh, I have an idea. It's like, I've had an idea for a long time about how these puzzles turn out, and they don't turn out how you think. They
Right.
just, it's like, oh, like, totally unexpected.
It's a really cool gene though, because it's variable in itself,
Yes,
which
it
I
is.
think is
It
cool.
is within
I
itself.
love
too.
that.
Correct.
I love that
Yeah.
it's variable, because now
Yeah.
there's an added level of gamble for me.
Right.
You know, now I can get like a wicked puzzle combo
Right.
and then a pretty cool puzzle combo, and they can be the same genes. And the wicked one to me might be the lame one to someone else. That's another thing I like about it, is there's variance in it. and there's
Confucius says
two ways.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think one of the problems people have is they're viewing the puzzle clown as like the finished product. It's not even close to the finished product. That's literally just like, I just need to make it so it drops my odds to make crazier ones.
Right.
Dude,
Exactly.
Yeah, Marshall nailed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
good job putting that up, Joel. I was just going to do that.
It's not a finished product. One of the other ones is I said somebody mentioned the tri-stripe clown.
Yeah.
Relatively underwhelming on its base form. However, the leopard tri-stripe is absolutely insane. And so what does leopard tri-stripe clown do? Just that simple combo right there. There's so much potential. And like, I'm surprised after time and time again, Justin keeps showing us these combos, you put the right thing in it and they pop. And then people are like, oh, puzzle clown's gonna suck. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I really like it doesn't it's cool, you know. I have no ill will. I'm gonna work it. And I know lots of people are. It's you know, and there's someone's going to hit the right combo. And it's going to happen.
It's crazy to think that we're even talking about puzzle clowns when we haven't seen a hundredth of what puzzle can do.
Oh, exactly.
You know?
Exactly, yeah.
So I mean, imagine 25 years from now with what you're working on puzzle. Alone. Just you alone. You know.
I'll still be where I am because I can't hit anything with the odds.
You'll have a really big facility too.
I have a lot of 66% hits.
Yeah, you gotta keep them.
Oh man.
But there's so much to do that people keep, you know, like the spot nose tri-stripe clown could be absolutely nuts. Could be absolutely nuts. And there's another gene that we also haven't even touched is tri-stripe. And one of the funny things that I'm finding is that people are using clown as like the
market,
the baseline,
to justify another gene.
Right.
Like if for example, I'll just use confusion as an example. I personally like the confusion clown, but let's say it was crap. Let's say the confusion clown looked just like a clown. People are like, oh, confusion's no good. It's like, well, wait a second. Confusion is amazing with half of the other genes. You're just not with clown. So because it's not good with clown, it's not, you know, it's a weird, like.
Yeah. That is true,
paradox.
Right? It is true. Clown is kind of the baseline that a morph either makes it or break it in. And if it doesn't do good, forget about it. That gene's going to struggle coming to market. And that, man, that is true.
Which is crazy to me because, for example, Mojave clowns, they're okay. Mojave is like, what the fuck is this?
Amazing.
That's just one gene that just when it works with puzzle, it's not as crazy with clown. It's just
it's night and day, right?
You're gonna have genes that do that. So, for example, pinstripe clown blows the pattern out. Pinstripe puzzle doesn't. So there's a gene. It's just, you know, and it comes down to just finding the right combo and doing enough gradings and trying to figure out. And that's the fun part.
Yeah,
it's hitting a combo where you're like, whoa, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
There's the reward, man. That's where it's fun. And every gene has it. There's no such thing as a bad gene, unless maybe there's some, you know, deformities or problems with the gene itself, obviously. But there's no such thing as a bad gene. It's just bad combos.
Yeah.
You know?
Like
It's,
Novi said 90% of my collection is awesome without clown in it. And that's, you know, that's the way to look at it, right? Yeah, I don't agree with that bar. So
it's one of those things. Shit, I just completely forgot what I was gonna say.
It happens to me all the time.
My
I
bad.
just did it just now.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
dude,
remember.
that was Adam, man. He just
That totally was.
you just
I
takes you,
jumped
dude.
in.
He's like that one shot guy on Call of Duty, just takes you out.
It's just, you know, clowns, and the best part is clowns. Oh, I remember. It was one of the things that Justin mentioned a few years ago that really, like, I really paid attention to was when he mentions that if you can take a combo and put it into a clown and it doesn't look like a clown anymore, that's great because you're able to manipulate and change patterns and make different stuff. And that's a huge thing that I'm seeing with puzzle is we're already early on with puzzles starting to make puzzles that don't look like puzzles, which is
for sure
very, very interesting. Being able to, you know, we made a pastel yellow belly leopard enchi puzzle, and like I was like, what the fuck? This doesn't look what I thought it would.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
Yeah. Jared saying the clown golden standard in the industry, it doesn't have to be. Yeah, you know, definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, right? Even though it kind of is, but
it can be though.
Clown is the golden standard. Like
it is, yeah. I mean, it
clown is still king. It's the best. I personally love clown. Majority of our collection is.
I love it.
Heading in the Desert Ghost clown direction, and I love.
There's
that.
a reason it's popular. Obviously, there's a reason it's popular.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a reason it's the golden standard. But
people are, one of the things that people are doing is they're saying it didn't work in clown, so it's no good, which is I don't think
that's wrong. Yeah, I think that's the wrong way to look at the gene because this, you know, you dismiss a bunch just like, you know, and then you miss out on a bunch of things like Red Stripe, right? How long did it take people to actually produce that together? You know, again.
Yeah, and now we have Red Stripe and Cypress, seemingly allelic.
Yeah.
You know, okay, now we have that going on. So where's the Red Stripe Cypress clown? That's going to be insane. Red Stripe Cypress puzzle.
Justin did that. I'm trying to
I'm sure.
This coming season.
Long
odds again. But yeah, we're going to do a Red Stripe hat puzzle and Cypress hat puzzle. So
there you go. Right. That's going to be crazy, right?
Yeah. And I'm taking a lot of inspiration out of clown projects and applying it into puzzle projects, right? Like one of the things that I found, I instantly, the second I saw it, I was like, I have to make that as a Desert Ghost, was the Dark Knight, the chocolate spot nose clown. I was like, holy shit, the contrast, amazing.
That would be great indeed.
Yeah. More contrast on that's going to be insane. But one of the things that like I saw with it is like, okay, spot nose and chocolate, really, really reactive, cool combo. What's it doing wrong? So now I'm trying to make a chocolate spot nose puzzle, and you know,
chasing the genes, man. Yeah. And putting the pieces together, dude.
Blue-eyed leucistic complexes in puzzle are
they're incredible, man.
They're good.
Fantastic. Like
I just added another one.
I saw that.
Yeah, love that. That's gonna be a great snake, man. She's a good looking snake.
Yes, it is. It's a very good looking snake.
Have you made Phantom puzzles, Will?
No, I've got Phantom. So I'm working on one of the things I thought would be cool was a leucistic complex animal in lavender puzzle. So I made some Phantom. I've been working Phantom lavenders for a while now. So I made some Phantom double head.
Cool.
Lavender puzzles, and they're 2019, so they're growing up pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, right around the corner. Yeah, somebody was asking about that earlier. So
then you can do all that work, but then you got to take into account the odds.
Right.
Yeah. I've been getting skunked on those a little bit this year myself too.
Yeah, we can kill the whole season.
Your Super Phantom Lavender is still elusive, or did you finally?
No, I'll do it eventually. I mean, I really should.
So sorry, sore spot. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
We put it on this year because we've got some Super Phantom 100% lavender females, and I used a blackhead lavender this year trying to make a blackhead Phantom lavender and I missed on that, and I hit it. One of the super phantoms that we had actually has pinstripe in it, so we made the blackhead phantom pinstripe lavender. Very, very cool looking animal, but I would love to get pin out of it to get like more white. And,
right.
Yellow. It's still extremely striking, but it's that extra contrast it would benefit from for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I agree to that. I have
blackhead phantom pet lavender, but of course not going to hit on
the visual.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Why would that happen? Yeah.
Dude, it's still 2020. Everybody needs to remember it's still 2020, but 2021 is going to be good. That's going to be good.
Hopefully.
That's where all the money is right there. That's the good year. We're going to rebound. But I do have a question for you about market. It seems like lately the market is doing actually surprisingly well. Is that something you have experienced as well?
Yeah, it's been
even with the border closing. I guess that would depend on how much of your customer base is also from the U.S.
So it's probably 70%.
Okay.
So big chunk.
Yeah, that's substantial.
But yeah, no, it's been good. And most people are like super understanding. Like I just say like, look, man, I'm gonna, this is your animal. Your name's on the bin. I'm feeding it like it's mine. I'll send you an update, whatever you want. Most guys that are buying like those project animals are kind of just like, okay, tell me when I can ship it. I can't use them until next year anyway. If you want to grow them up for me, that's cool. Send them when he's in,
Yeah, yeah.
But no, we're gonna have a shipment going out in October. So the border is actually open for. So the way that a lot of guys do it is they actually take the animals across the border themselves and then distribute in the States. And I'm not. I that's such a pain in the ass. So I just pull a CITES permit, put them on a plane, ship them to somebody, and
they send it from there. Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
It's crazy to it's weird though to think that you have to do CITES for that. It just seems crazy. But that's part of it, and that's something that I really haven't had to experience with, but also something that's kind of in my wheelhouse. There is obviously probably different between countries, but is that an overwhelmingly complicated process? Do you have to then obviously make contact with somebody in the country you're shipping to, or how does that work?
It's not nearly as complicated as most people make it sound. It's really like, as long as you're above board and you explain to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife or Environment Canada what you're doing, what this is a business, we're selling to these customers here, here's the invoice, here's my CITES import paperwork showing I obtained the animals legally, everything, they're pretty cool. They're just like,
right.
You're not, I'm not shipping a tiger. Like it's just they're very like, okay, cool. And Canada and US, there's so many ball pythons coming back and forth across the border that I'm sure they're like, oh, another ball pythons, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a lot of movement of that. I feel like ball pythons are pretty common now, I guess, in that industry too, especially they understand animal shipments. That's what they do. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Speaking of tiger, who's excited about Nicolas Cage playing Joe Dirt? I mean, Joe Exotics.
Joe Dirt.
Did you see that meme that was going around? Then you cut your clutch and it's a clutch full of normals, and it's like, I'm never going to financially recover.
Yeah.
I thought that was like,
sorry. I didn't mean to derail. I'm not chipping tigers. I'm like, oh shit, I have to say it.
We did have a question that kind of was similar to that early on. That let me grab it really quick. It was from Cameron Lee. The amount of, so you have 70 clutches, let's say. That's a number that obviously has a lot more babies. So how do you sell most of your animals? Is this through websites, Instagram, social media, shows, or is it all just kind of?
Really, like I barely keep Morph Market up to date. Most of it's moving before it even gets to Morph Market. It's been really crazy this year. I have a lot of people that that message me, say like, I'm looking for a specific project, and I'll tell them right off the bat, like whether, yep, I have a clutch coming for that, or no, sorry,
Right.
with whoever I know they're working that, and that's like instantly stops that conversation. But it's one of those situations where like a lot of people message me for DG Clown, a lot of people message me for Clown, Desert Ghost, and Puzzle, really, and that's pretty. And then some recently, I've made a lot of Pos Het Monsoons this year. They're extremely visual, basically. They're but yeah, it's been just one of those. Really, it's word of mouth and on Instagram, Facebook, people's, just I haven't had to advertise. And anything that does get it on Morph Market, generally, it most of the time it doesn't even sell through Morph Market. It sells from somebody messaging me asking about something else,
Right.
And a lot of times stuff on Morph Market will like lead to something else. Somebody will message me, hey, I see you have a Wookiee. Do you have any Wookiee Het clowns? It's like, oh, actually, yeah, I do. There's a clutch hatching next week for those. Do you want to just give me a second and let me see what they have? And then I show, and then.
Speaking of Wookiee, your last video was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was I like that project.
It is.
You have convinced me. Yeah, I'll be paying
attention. And then Justin posts those Wookiee DGs, and I was like, oh, okay, great. And then I was like, makes sense. Already has the Wookiee DG.
Put my order in for Wookiee Het Puzzle, please, when you get ready for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for probably go for Wookiee double Het Puzzle Clowns next year.
Oh, there you go.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be ideal. The super Wookiee I thought was really cool.
Super cool.
Wookiee I think is cool. I think I'm curious about Wookiee Pieds. So I have what's it, a Wookiee Lemon Blast Pied male. I'm gonna pop him into some pieds next year and see what.
That could be crazy. That could be
Wookiee Lemon Blast on the video. He had a sick how the pattern was lifting on the back of his tail. Looked good.
And the Wookiee, like again, the Wookiee blue-eyed leucistic complex stuff is like
really good. Yeah.
The Wookiee Lecter, the Wookiee Phantom, the Wookiee Pastel Phantom.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like it's amazing. I honestly can't wait to get. I kept a Phantom Wookiee from last year, and I'm gonna pop him into like Pastel Desert Ghost, Pastel Clowns, and start to make like. I want to do the Wookiee Phantom Clown. I think it's gonna look wicked.
Yes, dude, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy.
I think it's gonna be really, really cool.
Yeah. I've been really liking the Wookiee stuff. Something I also don't have. It's hard, man. Like we've been talking about, there's so many genes. There's so many genes, man, and it's envy. I have envy for having Wookiee, obviously, and then I also have envy for I don't have confusion. I don't have. I don't even have DG. So I have, it's just, there's so much stuff.
DG,
so much stuff.
It's a must.
Yeah, I know. I'm just waiting for the right one,
Like if you said like, hey, I'm looking for a new gene, I'd like, do you have Desert Ghost? And if you say no, forget everything else, start with that.
Get some DG.
Man, like, you see them the thing is, it's, when you see them grow, that's what really you're just like, wow. Most of the time, ball pythons, if I hatch like a cool clown, it looks amazing at 200 grams, and then every time it sheds after that, it's a little more.
Yeah.
So Desert Ghost is the complete opposite of that. So every time it sheds from 200 grams on, it just gets better and better and better and better. Just like I see Desert Ghost going to shed, I'm like, yes. It's gonna look better.
Great. Yeah. I like that.
They're super cool. Really cool genes. Super versatile. I haven't seen any issues with them. Any combos that don't work. It's in a way it's like a hypo, right? Hypo is.
I was just about to ask you to compare the two differences. What do you think the difference is?
It's contrast. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Contrast is Desert Ghost is going to give you that stark, like yellow and pure black, where Hypo is going to ghost over.
Kind of mutes the colors all.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. There's some Hypo combos that's like, whoa, that's
OD,
really
Super OD Pied, Hypo, the Aussie posted.
insane, right? It's absolutely nuts.
Dude, you can't get much more orange than that.
No, but I think you can.
Yeah, with DG.
Yeah.
Super OD DG.
Super orange, like Ozzy made the Orange Dream Desert Ghost Pied, and I was just like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
that thing was wicked.
Like,
that was wicked.
holy, like, and we don't like it. As soon as I see that, I'm like, okay, Ozzy has like, you know, his pied, his OD pied stuff. It's just like, holy shit.
Yeah,
for OD, Fire, Enchi, Yellow Belly, Leopard, Pied.
Right.
He does that with like Desert Ghost. You're gonna just be like, doesn't look real. You know, like, and when you see that kind of animal, like a Super Orange Dream Desert Ghost Pied at like 4,000 grams, big female, you're gonna just be like,
whoa,
shit, she's beautiful.
I agree.
You know, like that kind of look, that big, but it's like still beautiful. It's just
still just crazy.
Yeah. That's what I love about them.
They're wicked, man, and it's hard to deny it. You know, it's hard to deny what it does to the snakes. You know, it's incredible. It's been incredible, and it's only gotten better. You know, every year I see another combo that I'm like, okay, bummer I don't have DG still, but I'll get in there, dude. I'll get in there.
See what was Joel hating on the other week? What was Joel hating on the other week?
I like Hypo better, but I know I need DG.
Eat the words.
The thing, like comparing the two makes no sense because they're different.
That's my problem, right?
No, and so that's what Joel and I were talking about this several weeks ago, and they are completely different. People like to compare them, but they are doing different things, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you know, without a doubt,
they're absolutely different genes. They do different things. Right?
Right. And so planning your projects, it shouldn't be, oh, well, do I go the Hypo or DG route? No. Look at your project differently because it's going to provide different results. Like you were saying, DG contrast. Hypo is muted but very clean, right?
Yeah.
It's going to clean stuff up and look good. Like, so they can look good in different aspects. But if you're going for contrast, DG. And it gets better as it grows. So
and Hypo works actually absolutely amazing with Orange Dream.
Oh, yeah.
Desert Ghost does too, but in a different way. You don't get that, like, Hypo gives you like a different orange. Like it's more of like a tangerine kind of
tangerine.
Yeah. And Desert Ghost is like
yellow.
Exactly, like tone.
It's like
So my girl just shut out. Actually, I want you to see her now because I've been debating if she's a super or not. And Ozzy, after I bought her, said she may be. So now she's got some big weight on her. I'm curious to see what you think. Well, I'll grab her real quick.
This is a Super OD DG.
Possibly, it was sold as an OD DG. So
okay. You want to sell her?
Yeah, right.
I'll take that. Yeah.
What we're going to drop Adam from the call because I feel like that would be best right now. I think this is a wicked snake, though.
Oh man, I think it's a super.
I think it's super too, right?
I do that. I think that's I think it's a super. Personally.
Head.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my camera's a little yellow. I gotta adjust some settings right now. But look how clean. Yeah.
Ridiculous. That as a puzzle, desert or as a clown or a pied, like.
Yeah. There is merit. There is merit.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's gonna prove to be a super.
I'm hoping so. I really think so too. The contrast is crazy. And dude, she's at let's see, 16.
Yeah, she's at
almost
breeding
7.
weight.
Yeah, she's at breeding weight. So yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You should interact. I don't think it's super. Just send her away.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Sterling puzzle because I like OD with cinnamon actually, which I mean, it's not super impactful, but I think with the Desert Ghost, it'll be good.
I can attest to OD Cinnamon's looking amazing.
Amazing, right? Yeah.
Combo. We actually made an Orange Dream Cinnamon Lace at Clown this year, and it's like stunning.
Yeah. Like the lace project too. Obviously, that's a cool one.
Great project to be in.
Yeah, cool
Lace is very cool, and it doesn't have to be in Clown. Lots of stuff to do with lace.
Clown.
Yeah.
Marshall,
stuff to do.
Marshall's working the puzzle deal, so I'm interested to see that. Yeah,
I tried to make them this year, but no light, no dice.
Missed.
All right, I'm gonna put this girl away real quick. Be right back.
Yeah, I really like that lace stuff. We have that. I have that hypo white lace. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, like it's
Yeah, it's a cool super. It's a really cool super.
It's amazing super.
Yeah,
I have a straight just white lace, and she's an adult white lace, and she just
an adult white lace. Yeah, really
cool.
Yeah, it has some very contrasting abilities, and obviously messes with the belly. That's why I think it'll be fascinating in puzzle. Yeah,
I think so too. Like a white lace, like a white lace OD yellow belly puzzle is gonna be like
crazy. That's gonna be a crazy.
By the way, Jared Smith hates hypo.
He does.
Jared's opinion doesn't matter.
I didn't want to be the first. I'll second it if you want that.
He is a good dude, but yeah, he's got a vendetta for hypo.
Too good. Oh man.
So we are, kind of hitting that hour mark. We've been trying to keep everybody's time in mind, but is there anything in chat that we may have missed earlier on? And then anything real quick that you are most excited for coming up for next season? Are you planning next season yet?
Yeah, so some of the Krypton stuff I'm looking forward to next season. Right. Some of the cryptic stuff. I mean, tons of. I mean, I'm taking a bunch more long shots on the puzzles, head-to-head stuff. But like, I feel like it's the only way to really like take that next step with the puzzle. Go for it. You miss it. I look at head-to-head as you're looking for one animal in that entire clutch, and if you can hit that one animal, you're laughing.
Right.
So, head-to-head's rough. It can be very, very disappointing. But it is what it is. It's just the name of the next season is going to be a lot of double recessive Desert Ghost combos. So you're going to see a lot more DG clowns, DG pies, DG puzzles.
Can't wait, dude.
Hopefully some Desert Ghost lavenders. Really want to see that.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, we're hoping to do chocolate enchi Desert Ghost Lav.
Wow. Okay.
Odds crazy, double head.
Yay. Dude, when you hit those home runs, though, hey, you take enough swings, you will also hit a home run. Also,
well, that's just it. That's sort of the way we looked at it. It's like if you can put double recessive clutch, if I can put 30 eggs on the ground, my chances become much, much better to hit one than
snagging.
I do 6. Yeah.
When's the DG reveal? Where's our reveal video, man? Where's our next reveal video?
For what?
I don't know. You gotta have something. What do you mean what? Just don't what me when we were talking.
Don't what.
We actually hit a really cool Desert Ghost, but didn't make it out of the egg, unfortunately. It was a super orange dream Desert Ghost cryptic.
Ooh. I bet you that thing was crazy, bro.
It was so sick, so sick. And of course, everything else, that one just, I don't know.
It was the one. Yeah.
Right. And that's like sort of the, like if you could take a page away from our season, it's kind of like that.
That's it. Yeah. That's the whole story.
You miss some or just really bad odds. I've got a couple cool clutches coming. I should have some some visual monsoons coming up.
Okay.
So hopefully hit some monsoons.
Like just monsoon, or are they going to have something mixed in there?
Mojave's in the mix.
Okay.
Nice.
So Mojave monsoons. I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to make a monsoon.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
To get them.
And yet again, Jared absolutely hates the monsoon. So
Yes, that was
yeah. Hopefully some Orange Dream, Desert Ghost. They'd be 50% het for tri-stripe, but it's like I feel like with some of these het tri-stripes, you can pick out some of the markers in the het. So I'm hoping that I can pick out an Orange Dream, Desert Ghost, het tri-stripe, and then go back to the double hets and shoot at that.
Right.
What else? Yeah, see, I see that comment. Like, monsoon is cool, but overrated. It's like, I mean, how? Like, what's overrated about it? It's a pattern.
The 10K price tag.
Absolutely, but it's also an insanely visual animal. So
no, for sure. I'm not arguing with the price, and I've stuck up for the price.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, it's absolutely expensive, but so is a Pompeii, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why. First, they're hard to make, and they're extremely visual.
It just like boils down to is, dude, there are a lot of snakes that I think are overpriced because it doesn't make any sense for me. And
exactly.
That's what it boils down to, man.
That's exactly.
It's too expensive for me.
100%.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Can't agree more. A lavender, like a dreamsicle, crazy cool dreamsicle combo. For me, it doesn't work because I'm not working that project, so that male doesn't tie into my collection. But show me a puzzle clown het DG, like whatever you want, I'll pay it. Like I need it,
Right.
That kind of animal, absolutely.
Now I can get on board with that, like, the opinion that it's the Champagne 2.0. You know what I mean? Being that it's very, very strong in its visual form, right? And I think that's true. I think we're going to have to be careful where we can't just expect it to, using clown as kind of the base, react like clown, where you have a very good chance that this is going to be like a really cool animal. With monsoon, I think it's going to take some harder work. We're going to have to break that pattern down and find what does that, right?
So for monsoon, like right off the top of my head, without even doing them yet, I can think of endless projects to make a wicked looking monsoon.
Right.
For example, genetic stripe is super dominant. It almost wipes out everything. What does that do with monsoon? Those are
right.
Really dominant.
That's what I'm saying, right? Looking at it from that, right?
You have to and that goes down to like every single gene. You have to like look at what the gene is and what it offers, and then find other genes that complement that and work that direction.
Right.
And I think a monsoon. Obviously, a monsoon Desert Ghost is going to be badass. Super OD monsoon BG. It's going to be like an orange speckled snake, but super bright. It's hypo is had for Joel and for Jared. Hypo monsoon is probably going to look pretty sweet, especially if we get some other stuff in there. And again, we don't really know what to expect with a lot of it. Like, what does a chocolate spot nose monsoon do? We don't fucking know.
Man.
Right? Who knows? Right. Like, what does that do? What does a what does a freeway monsoon look like? Or right.
Yeah, it's endless. And it's just actually going out to make them.
That's the thing. That's that. So it's totally cool to have that opinion. In my view, right? Have that opinion. Go at it. There's going to be somebody with a different opinion. And hopefully that person with a different opinion blows your mind. So then you get an opportunity to change, right? Like the last thing that I ever want is a morph to come out and it's like, oh man, everybody was right. that sucked. Right? Like I would rather it be
the worst.
Whoops.
Okay, so I can attest. I've done it many times where I'm like, no, that's nothing. I don't want anything to do with it. And I can give you a good example was genetic stripe. They all look the same. They're patternless looking animals, and then clown. What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's like, oh, gotta get me some of that.
You know, it's cool. What is you know? It's a perfect example because I was completely like, nah, don't want anything to do with G-stripe. It's all the exact same striped animal. And all of a sudden, somebody put the right genes together, and it's like, holy shit, there's an entire project based off of that.
Yep.
You know,
and it's double recessive. Like it'll take people a long time to get to some really cool stuff, which is good, right? Like
it's great.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
these triple recessive projects are just gonna.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've got a bunch.
We're gonna start seeing wills, like not your name, but actual like living will, like, you know, like a will and testament saying like, I pass on this quadruple double, you know, hat project to this person to continue on. Like, you know?
100%. It's I mean, there's so much to do, and I find it funny when, you know, guys, oh, it's a dead end. It's like, well, maybe because you're not creative enough, it is for you, but it's not for everybody else.
Right,
you know,
right.
I was not creative enough to put 2 and 2 together that a G-stripe clown could be that reactive. I have said many times, genetic stripe is a dead end. I don't want anything. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I was wrong. And I'm the first one to admit that I was completely wrong.
Yeah.
And that's back to somebody proved me wrong. And I love that.
And that's the thing, right? Yeah. And it's like, that's what I'm saying. I welcome all opinions, even if it is the guy saying it's a dead end. Hey, that's totally cool. Because for maybe me or somebody else that hears that, they go, wait a second, I'm going to prove that wrong. Right.
Yeah.
And somebody goes after it. Right. So we almost need like the antagonist in the story to be like, no, you know, to cause some of this stuff to happen. So
I can't tell you how much heat people have given me over puzzle stuff. It's nothing. It's going to be shit. Don't do it. You keep comparing it to others. I'm like, I'm not comparing it. I'm just, it's its own fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a tendency to compare it back to clown. Everyone wants to compare puzzle and clown. Clown's better. Clown's better. Bro, they're different. That's like saying clown's better than pie. Well, which one do you like more? I don't like.
Right.
They're totally different genes.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just, again, everyone's gonna have an opinion.
Yeah.
I have my opinion on pies.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
But I'm not telling people not to work with pies.
Right.
I love seeing people make cool pies. I don't want to make a ton of them, but it's just, that's just because I don't love them. And you need to work with what you really like, and that's the only way that you're going to be successful. If you just
totally agree.
If you just jump into pies because you think that they're money makers, and you're never going to have that like that creativity and that spark to make that next cool pie project.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
Yeah, totally agree with that, man.
Yeah, well said, man. That was good. I like that.
Well, had a good conversation tonight. Well, thanks, man, for jumping on.
The mystery guest for us. Whenever you hatch out those clowns, those puzzle clowns, we'll have to have you on here to show us show and tell or something. That would be cool.
Next year, probably.
Yeah. Next year, whenever you get that going.
Yeah, we'll see.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, we have to have you on for a show and tell.
Guys, appreciate it as always.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, chat. Obviously, we really appreciate everybody here tonight. Kind of left you all hanging a little bit, but we hope you're pleased with Will's presence. He's always a delight. So no Arlington for you, correct?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go so bad. You guys have no idea.
Right.
So bad. But in order for me to go, when I come back to Canada, I have to mandatory 14-day quarantine. And
Right. Makes sense.
like
That's pain. That's pain.
that's a big pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, man, we appreciate you taking some time for us tonight.
Anytime, guys. Anytime you want.
All right. Thanks, Will.
All right, later, boys.
You guys have a
See
good
you
night.
guys.